Hey guys, my name is Zizi. I was wondering if we can hang out together. No, this is an exclusive plant club and you're just too common. Basic. You mean classic? Whatever. Oh, okay, well, according to Google Trends, there's actually more people searching about me than both of you guys. Like we said, common. No, I'm just more popular. Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we are gonna do another rating of houseplants. This time we're gonna focus on houseplants that are in my collection, specifically those that I first acquired when I started my houseplant journey. So that was back in like 2017, early 2018. And most of these plants are gonna be common houseplants that I think is also a great way to kind of, pay a little bit of tribute to them because I feel like a few of them have been forgotten. So today I also want to determine whether I still like them or not. In my previous video, we actually rated houseplants that I didn't have in my collection, which were mostly rare, wish list type of plants. And thanks to a few of my planty friends from the community who shared a few video footages of their plants to really help me make that video. And if you haven't checked that out, be sure to watch it after this one. So we're gonna use a similar rating system of like 1 to 10, 10 being I absolutely want this plant, I need it, I will protect it at all costs. 1 being, if I got robbed and that plant was taken, I could care less. I will not file an insurance claim for it. And obviously there's a lot of things I want to factor into this rating system to determine whether I still like the plant or not. Things like how it looks today, the care and maintenance of the plant, the current market price or accessibility of this plant, and my overall experience and journey with the plants. So without further ado, let's get started. We'll start with our first plant. It is actually the very first pothos that I got back in 2017. It is the Pearls and Jade pothos that you see here right now. So when I first got this, it was in a tiny 4-inch container and it was actually labeled a Marble Queen pothos at that time. But later on, after learning a little bit more about plants and the different varieties that come in, we did identify this as a Pearls and Jade. And it is a very, very beautiful pothos. I love the variegation on it. It has that nice, kind of pastel green color with the creamy yellow variegation with the speckled green dots on it. So very, very beautiful. And I actually forgot about this plant back in like 2020. To be honest, it kind of just fell off the radar for me. But looking at it now, it is definitely becoming one of my favorite pothos, especially the fact that I don't even really see this plant often. Whether on Instagram or even on big box stores or nurseries or even like specialty boutique plant shops. So I am noticing that this particular plant isn't necessarily as readily available like the Marble Queen, which often you will find at your big box stores, or the Golden Pothos. But yeah, this is definitely a beauty. Now in terms of the rating, I'm gonna give this Pearls and Jade pothos, considering the way it looks today, just how full it is. Beautiful variegation, how I don't necessarily see it as readily available, and just it was a good experience. It was very easy to care for. I can't complain about it. I had no issues, no pests. It never, died on me. It's still obviously thriving. The only thing I noticed with the Pearls and Jade pothos is it's not as fast of a grower as that of my Golden Pothos or even my Neon Pothos. So it is slightly a bit of a slower grower. The rating I'm going to give this one is an 8. So I'm using my cutout rating here because the whiteboard does not show up on the camera, but we are gonna give this plant an 8. Comment below and let me know what rating you would give my Pearls and Jade pothos. Don't worry, I will not take offense to it. So the next plant we're gonna rate is one of my bigger plants. He's actually back there, so let me go grab him. My Bird of Paradise. You guys can see, he is not looking his best or his finest right now, but I first got this plant back in 2018. And I think this actually made like my top final 10 favorite houseplants of 2018 because I really do like the Bird of Paradise. Just the vibe it kind of gives your home, really gives that nice tropical jungle vibe, and massive leaves, beautiful plant. It did lose quite a bit of leaves, to be quite honest. I actually have not repotted this since I first got it, so it can use a bit of repotting. He does have this new leaf right now that just is starting to unfurl finally. It's been quite humid here in the city, and I did use fern strake to wrap like, wet towel around it, and within like, a few minutes it started to unfurl. So really, really works well. It does take up quite a bit of space, which is probably the reason why I never repotted this plant, because I know if I repot it, it's gonna probably get a little bit bigger, produce a couple more leaves, but it definitely does need a bit of love. In terms of the rating I would give this one right now, whew, don't hate me, 4. So yes, unfortunately for now, you are just a 4. I like you, but like I said, if I had bigger space and this was like majestic looking and massive, and you can put it behind the couch and had nice tall ceilings, I think a bird of paradise would look really awesome in that type of space or environment. And maybe for the shop, I will get one because I think I have higher ceilings in that one. So thank you, Bird of Paradise, for the last couple years. So you can go back to the corner over there. Just kidding. So the next plant we're gonna rate is actually a classic, one of my very first houseplants. And it is a plant I actually recommend every beginner to get. It is the ZZ plant. So this is actually my very first ZZ that I got back in 2017 from IKEA. And it is still in the original container, and you guys can even see the IKEA labels here. So it's been with me since then. I haven't repotted this plant. It doesn't require, repotting every year. Very, very low maintenance, very easy to care for. And that is why I definitely recommend every beginner or every plant person to have a ZZ in their collection. I think it just has that nice classic minimalist look. So it's perfect for those of you guys who want to add plants as decor and not make your place look cluttered. A beautiful, simple ZZ plant like this, in a nice decorative pot would do just fine. And I love how the long stalks can grow and then it gives off these beautiful foliages that are shiny. And I honestly think this is such a beautiful common houseplant that, is somewhat forgotten about. People say it's just a basic houseplant that you often see at the mall, which is probably true. You do see this at the malls or even at your doctor's office, but I still believe it's a beautiful, stunning houseplant that I think every plant collector, whether you're a beginner or advanced, that you need in your collection. So in terms of the rating, I would give the ZZ plant, and whether I still love it or not, I'm gonna give it a 7. I think it's still a beautiful, stunning houseplant. Like I said, it's not the most fanciest or most rarest plant out there. It can look a little bit simple and basic, but if you like the minimalist look, but you also want to add plants, I think it's such a beautiful statement piece to add in your home. Let me know what you would rate my ZZ plant in the comments below. The next plant we're gonna rate is a Ficus elastica. You guys know how much I love Ficus elastica, and this one I actually got as my second Ficus plant back in early 2018. It is the Ficus burgundy. So this is another classic houseplant, and I remember when I first got this back in early 2018, it was in a tiny 6-inch container. He's now, I think, in a 12 or maybe 14-inch container, grown quite a bit. I've cut and propagated this and done a lot of videos on how to care for Ficus elastica, so be sure to check that out. This is a beautiful plant. I do love the dark green leaves and then that burgundy mid-rib where the top of the leaves has this nice shine to it and the backside is a little bit more matted but still looks very cool. But yeah, it's still a plant I definitely like and want to keep for sure. I think the only thing I would say about this plant is it is getting a little bit bigger and taking up quite a bit of space. So, if you do like big plants or you want a plant to grow as big, Ficus elastica is definitely a good one because these in the wild pretty much are like trees. So as an indoor plant, you can get them pretty large. Very, very beautiful nonetheless. In terms of the rating I would give it, it's definitely not my favorite Ficus elastica, but nonetheless still very beautiful. I would give it a 7. Again, if this was a little bit smaller right now, I think it would probably be an 8, only because it wouldn't be taking up so much space, but nonetheless, still very, very beautiful, and I'm happy to have it in my collection and definitely want to keep it. So the next plant we're going to take a look at is another classic of mine that I've had for quite some time now. I think back in November 2017, I first got this plant as a baby 4-inch little guy, and today this is how he looks. The Pilea peperomioides or Pilea peperomioides. Now, you guys have seen this quite a few times if you've been following my journey, since the beginning. Done a lot of videos on how to care, propagate, and grow this. And you're probably taking a look at him right now and seeing what happened. Why does he look like a mess and does not look as full as he once was in my previous videos? A couple of things. So he's definitely outgrown this pot and I've been meaning to repot him earlier this year. Last year, if you guys recall in the houseplant tour video that I did right here, you guys can see how massive and full he looked like. Still in the same container as he is today. And in previous videos I've done, you guys can see how beautiful he was kind of growing up. Very symmetrical, really nice shape, nice and full. And yeah, he's definitely struggling right now. And partly because of me, I've been quite lazy to repot him. He's definitely lost his popularity or charm in the plant community. Unless you're like somewhere in the Philippines, for example, this is a very rare plant. And I know everyone out there wants this plant. But here in the Western, I think it's a plant that, people don't care for anymore, to be honest, but I still like it and I'm still gonna keep it and I will definitely repot it soon. I was actually just thinking of maybe cutting this main stem close to the base and then putting it in water, getting it to root, and maybe leaving it as an aquatic plant because they do thrive in water as well. I think they're very easy to care for. And in terms of the rating, I would give this one. Man, this one's tough because he doesn't look the best right now, but at the same time, he's done really well for me through the years, has blown up a few of my videos because of this guy. So if it wasn't for him, I don't know where I'd be right now. So there definitely is a bit of a sentimental, relationship I have with this one. So the rating though. Okay. I'm sorry, Pelia. I'm giving you a 6 right now. So that is my rating for this guy. Comment below, let me know what you would give him. And any suggestions on what you think we should do. Should I chop it off and put it in water? Maybe take out a few of the babies and pot it on its own. Definitely once I have a little bit more space, I think I will do that. Sorry, little guy. Okay, so next plant we're gonna rate is the Sansevieria whalefin, or a snake plant. So this was actually one of my very first, at that time, rare houseplant, and I was lucky enough to find it at a bodega or convenience store, and I got it for a really good deal. And it had actually another pup with this that I separated, but I really do like this single, leaf look. It's a nice wide leaf, so it kind of gives off that, statement piece that you're looking for. Again, if you want something a little bit more minimalist and something to just really put on maybe your coffee table or maybe your dining room, this is a cool plant. Easy to care for, like most snake plants, so very low maintenance. And in terms of the rating, I would give this one, it's not my favorite snake plant in my collection right now. I actually like the Sansevieria moonshine more so than this whalefin, but it's actually a plant that I still don't see as often in big box stores. If I do, it's very, very rare. So in terms of rating, I think I would give this one. I still think it's a very beautiful, unique plant. And like I said, I think it's great as a home decor or statement piece, but not every whalefin looks like the one I have. But I'm going to give it I'm gonna give it an 8 because I think it looks cool, easy to care for. I don't come across it often. And it's such a cool statement piece or a piece of art, like a sculpture. So that is the rating I'm giving my whalefin. So the next plant we're gonna rate is a Hoya. It is the second Hoya I actually added to my collection. I got it back in 2018, the same time I got my string of hearts. It is the Hoya macrophylla that you guys see right here. And I love this particular Hoya. At first, I wasn't so thrilled with it. Back then, it only had maybe like 3 or 4 leaves. It is still in the same original container of when I first got it. So that's the cool thing about Hoyas is they are low maintenance. They don't need to be repotted for years, to be honest. Easy to care for as long as you can give them some good, bright, indirect light. Allow the soil or the potting medium to dry out completely. It's definitely taking off like crazy this year. It was a slow grower at first. It doesn't compare to Adam Sarawak that grew so many leaves in a very, very short time. I think he got that as a cutting just under a year ago. So how crazy his has grown is quite impressive. But I'm happy with the growth of this. I do have it on this little pole to kind of help it grow straight up. It did give me a lot of these beautiful leaves. It has a bit of that variegation. I think this is called the Alba marginita, so it is the variegated macrophylla, and very, very beautiful. So in terms of the rating I would give my Hoya macrophylla, I think I would give this one. I really do love Hoyas. I think every Hoya in my collection is a 9. So that is how much I love Hoyas. I think they are so cool. Like I said, perfect for beginners because they are really easy to care for. As long as you're not like a crazy helicopter type of mom where you tend to overwater, Hoyas will love you if you love them less, to be honest. But I would definitely give mine a 9. Comment below and let me know what you would give that macrophylla. So the next plant we're gonna rate is another one that I first got back in 2017 as a tiny little pup. And this is how he looks today. My aloe vera. So this guy I got when he was in a little 2-inch container, tiny little guy, and in the course of almost 3.5 years, grown quite a bit, has produced quite a bit of babies that I've cut and propagated, and I did do a detailed care video on how to grow, care, and propagate your aloe, so definitely check that out. And he looks so cool right now, especially in this like round decorative pot. He looks like an upside down octopus, so really cool. And I do have this Velcro garden tape around my aloe to help it grow straight up because oftentimes aloe tends to grow out and wild, which takes up a lot of space. So this does help kind of, minimize the area footage that he would typically consume. So very, very cool looking aloe. And personally for me, I think aloes are great to have in your plant collection, whether you're a beginner or an advanced, because they actually really help soothe your skin, especially if you get like cooking oil burns or sunburns. This guy has helped prevent, scarring on my hand a few times. Hold on, I'm gonna put him down because he's freaking heavy. Ugh. In addition, I think they are very easy to care for and quite low maintenance. Similar to like a snake plant or a ZZ plant, they will love you more if you love them less. So really hold back on your watering. Now, in terms of the rating, I would give this aloe, and I know not many people out there like aloes, especially the plant snobs. I'm just kidding. I really like this one, and I'm really proud of how well I've kept it up and how it's grown from a tiny little pup, that I am giving this aloe a 10. So this is the first 10 I'm giving any plant right now because I really, really love the way my aloe looks. Comment below, let me know what rating you would give this one. Again, I will not be offended if you give it a 1 plus a 0. I'm just kidding. So the last plant we're gonna rate is also one of the very first plant I got, and I think I featured this in one of my very first houseplant video called Easy Houseplants for Beginners. It is the jade plant. So I first got this one again in the summer of 2017. I think it was in one of those 1.5 or 2 inch little container that I got at the convenience store. It was pretty cool when I first got it because I was just so happy, and I love the way the leaves has that nice red edges or tips on it. He is hanging out outside right now because they do love, full sun. They do thrive better in that environment. Some of you may not like the way his shape is right now or the look of it. It kind of has that bonsai look. Personally for me, I like that vibe. It's what I was going for, really making it look like a small miniature tree with thick trunks and branches and, having the foliage just kind of at the end. So looks really cool to me. Now, in terms of the rating, I would give that jade plant. The only thing about it is it does require a lot of that bright sunlight because it is a succulent. Like most succulents, if they don't get adequate light, they will drop leaves, they will get leggy, and they just will not look healthy. So it does require a bit more maintenance than I would like. During the winter, you can imagine that we are not the best of friends. So I'm giving him a 6, even though he's looking his best right now because it is summertime and I do have it outside. I know come winter, we are gonna struggle. He's gonna drop a lot of leaves. So that is why I'm giving him a 6. So there you guys have it. Those are the ratings for some of the common houseplants that I got when I first started my houseplant journey. And the reality is I do love all of them still. And I'm glad they're still in my collection, even though a few of them, got a low rating, because common houseplants are great. I think they're somewhat underrated right now in the plant community, and there's so many good reasons to love them. Really affordable or accessible, and just really low maintenance and easy to care for, and they're so fun to kind of watch and grow. Really does depend on obviously what you're looking for, whether you are looking for more of a home decor type of plant, like maybe a ZZ plant or snake plant, or maybe you're looking for something where you can watch it grow up, enjoy caring for it and the process, like a pothos. Regardless what your reasons are, I think these common houseplants are great no matter what. So comment below and let me know what your ratings are for them and whether you have them in your collection or not. Other than that, hopefully you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.